welcome to our webinar today. My name is Dr. Heather Wensler, and following today's presentation, I will provide my contact info should you ever have any questions or need to reach out to me. But I did want to thank you for joining today. Enjoy. Did you know that you can track your students in class to see how they're performing overall? Using this data collection to inform your research can help you during this time of remote learning. So how does it work? It's actually quite simple. There's just a couple of steps involved to get you started. So first, you need to have a team that is set up as a classroom. So not a PLC, not a staff team, not an other team, but it has to be set up as a classroom team. You're going to enter that team. Actually, in fact, I'm going to go create one and then I'll come back to that one. Okay, so what do? Once you have entered into the team that is set up as a class, in the General tab, you're going to click on the plus sign and you're going to look for Insights. Right now it's in preview, but it will be releasing soon to everybody. So this is fantastic. This will help inform your instruction. So you click on Insights and click Add. And then it's going to tell you to save to add the tabs. You click Save. And then it's going to generate some information about your students. Now, I have one set up in a different classroom team, so we can look at what kind of data it collects. So again, I had already set up my Insights tab. I click on the tab, and here's everything that I can find. So I have done, it's going to automatically default to today, but let's look at all time because I have enough data that I can get some information. So digital activity, this shows how much percent of the time, how many kids have been online doing their activities digitally. Shows your average grade for the whole class, the average percentage of on-time assignments, yikes, the average time that you spend on feedback. And then it can also track your communication activity between your students, between you and your students. So this shows all of my students. If I click on average grade, I can see graphs. I can show there are a total of 7 graded assignments out of 27. And I show my average. Notice it also, when I hover over each data point, it gives me the title, the due date, the due time, how many students, what the high and low scores were. Here was one where the class average was 84.8%. It shows me the high and low and how many students it was using to calculate this average. If I click on on-time assignments, I get a little bit different data. So again, this one shows a ring chart. It shows me on time, late, and missing based on the title and due date of the assignment. So notice that some of them have been graded and some have not. My average time for feedback. So it tells me how much time I spent grading these assignments. Now, communication activity looks at how much time students are online interacting, but not from a mobile device. So it has to be from a desktop or a laptop that they're interacting. You can sort by student. So I can look at this student and I can see for this student what the average grade is. So I can look at the class as a whole, or I can look at individual students to see how individuals are doing. So great when that parent says, I'd like to know more about how my student is performing. So I can also look at specific assignments. So introduction to algebra, for example, or a simple math quiz. So I can see what this student's score is on this individual assignment. Again, when I click on on-time assignments, it will show me for this particular student. So I can use this information to help me figure out what I need to go back and reteach, look at the data as a whole. I can export it to Excel, to an Excel workbook, so that I can compile the data and use it in my reporting. So just a really quick how to use insights. Again, if it's not available yet, it's coming for everyone. Again, more to come. Stay tuned. Thank you. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you were able to learn more about Microsoft's products. My contact info is on the screen should you have any questions at all. On my website, you can schedule small and large group trainings or even one-to-one consultations. I have also provided a link to access all of my Microsoft webinars on my YouTube playlist. My email is also posted, and I encourage you to follow me on Twitter to stay up to date with all the latest Microsoft news. Thanks again for joining, and I look forward to seeing you again next time. Cheers.